Alec Lasley from Hoosier.com with me. Like I said, talked recruiting in the first segment. Hey, the IU UK series, man. I talked to Mike Woodson at Big Ten Media Days about it. He didn't give a lot. I asked him for a timeline, and he said hopefully within the next 2 or 3 seasons. And then, of course, at SEC Media Days, I don't know why they let Calipari have all the thunder, but Calipari makes the announcement that an agreement in principle has been reached between Indiana and Kentucky to resume the series in 2 years from now, I believe. So Mike Woodson was – I wish he would have let me know that he was really hinting there when we did that. But it doesn't matter. It's happening. Now the next question is going to be, what's the format going to be? Rick Bozich weighed in, and I agree that if they want to do one each at a neutral site, but you've got to do one each at Rupp and Assembly Hall. It's just that's some great college athletics right there. I mean, when you look at the Tennessee-Alabama game. I mean, you can't have that moment in Pasadena. Even if it was for the Rose Bowl, it would not have been what that moment was. So that's why the on-campus stuff is important. I'm so sick and tired of hearing Kentucky fans whine about stuff that wasn't even the real reason why this thing ended. They got their butts beat. That's what the reason is. He brought a number 1 team into Assembly Hall and just got his ass beat by a team that he shouldn't have. And the last time Indiana and Kentucky played, Indiana won again. So I'm looking forward to it. I will say this. It was probably fortuitous for Indiana that the series had not been continuing to go because Indiana was in that lull. Because this series was, tied. Indiana may have led it before Indiana went on a little, not a little, but they've been on a dry spell for a while. I think it's 32-25 is what the series is now, which is kind of surprising, knowing that that's the end there has not been good.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone pretty much knows kind of what assuming the administrations both agree on this, which I think unless something kind of crazy happens, I think should be good to go. But I think everyone should know that it's probably going to start in Rupp, probably going to go to some neutral sites, and then.
Well, why would you think it would start in Rupp?
You're telling me John Calipari is going to agree to something to start at Assembly Hall? There's no way. There's a reason.
No. I think that they start on the neutral sites.
We'll see about that. I'm not.
You know why? And do you know why? This won't happen for 2 more years. So then, if you do 2 neutral sites, that's 4 years. A 5th year at Rupp, I don't think he's going to be here in 6 years. I don't know that he's going to be here in 4 years or 3 years. Maybe not in 2 years when the series resumes. But I think that he'll set it up to where he does not have to go back to Assembly Hall, even if it's scheduled.
Well, yeah, that's why when you look at the Gonzaga series that they scheduled, they're not going to actually play a true road game at Gonzaga's campus until the very last game of that series, which is in like 2026 or 2027. So there's a reason why he's doing this. But at the same time, I mean, Indiana and Mike Woodson, he's been very open about wanting to get this on the schedule, playing at any point of the season, playing anywhere. So when you look at that, I would not be surprised to see Rupp first because of that, then neutral site, and then some sort of return to Bloomington. I don't foresee Calipari wanting to go to a neutral site first. I think he would want to at least begin the series and have all of that.
Well, if it was at the Yum Center in Louisville,
why would they go to the Yum Center? Why would they go to Louisville?
Well, where are they? That's where they used to play their neutral site game there. They played in Freedom Hall. Dude,
they're
it was
not going.
split
Yeah, but
down the
they're
middle,
not.
black, blue,
This
and
is
red.
yeah, but after everything that's gone on with this series over the last decade, they're not going to play at the Yum Center.
Okay, where is their neutral site game going to be played?
They'll probably go to Chicago. They'll have one in Indy.
Really?
They're not. Why would they go to the? I don't. They're not going to go to another college campus.
They do it all the time. They love playing games in Louisville because they want to keep that Louisville fan base of theirs. They still play games in the Yum Center now.
I don't think they play that many games in the Yum Center right
now. They don't. It's like once a year.
Yeah, and that's when they play Louisville.
No, I meant they will schedule a game. They have always scheduled games in Louisville. This game is always played at Freedom Hall.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying with everything, with all the
which was Louisville's home. That's where Louisville played. That was their gym.
No, I know, but I'm saying with everything that's gone on over the last, especially couple of years, with Calipari kind of getting dragged through the dirt here with this series. I don't foresee him wanting to go play at the Yum Center. I would be surprised if that happens. Maybe it happens at the very end of the series, but I don't see the first game. If they're not going to play on either of their campuses first, I don't foresee them going to the Yum Center to play when you could easily go to anywhere, even Indy, and still have a huge following of Kentucky fans, right? Kentucky fans are well, I should say, in quotes, fans are everywhere, right? I mean, Kentucky travels to every single event when it comes to basketball. And if you're telling me that you're scared to go to Chicago because that's going to be a little bit further away, I just find it very hard to believe that he would resume this series after this long and play at the Yum Center to begin the series, or even the second game, or even the third game. I could see them doing this at the very end, and then that would be how they wrap it up. I just don't see that happening to start.
Not only that, but John Calipari said when they canceled the series and when they were trying to get it, back, but when there are conversations about getting it back, because it seems like that pops up every year in the maybe 2010s, he said he would be willing to play those games at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Like, I think he understands that maybe it's still kind of quote unquote a home game or a neutral site advantage for Indiana.
Well, they get half the tickets, and when they played these games, no matter where it was, even when it was in Freedom Hall, there was a line of demarcation, and you could just see it right down the middle. This side was red, and this side was blue. I mean, all the way around. You could just see it, and that's how it would be wherever any neutral site game would be,
right?
Including Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Indiana would not have an advantage there. I promise you. Kentucky will get half the tickets, and they will sell half the tickets.
Right, but it's still closer to their campus. So the point being is, I don't know why he's not ever mentioned another, as far as I know, another venue. So I think that you could see this series being played at Gainbridge Fieldhouse when they want the neutral site games every year. I don't know that there would be, because there are still recruits in the Indianapolis area. Maybe they'd go to Chicago.
They definitely. See, that's another thing. They love to come to Indiana and play because they want to play in front of this in the state that has the tons of recruits. Mm-hmm. Recruits that like Kentucky, Michigan State, Michigan, whomever, are all after. So, yeah, they love spreading that brand. That's what they do. That's why they don't play many. Other than conference games, they play very few home-and-home series with people. He and Calipari never puts his team at a disadvantage. It's like, they're too afraid to. That's why they don't have those true road games. Alec mentioned Gonzaga. It is what it is. But I'm just glad to see the series resume. I don't care where they play it. I don't care if they play it in the parking lot at Lucas Oil Stadium. I really couldn't care. You know what? That'd be cool. Play it outdoors. Hey, make it fun. But I don't. They could do it in Lucas Oil with those end zone setups, but I don't like those setups. They're not intimate. You lose that college basketball feel, and I don't like that. So it would definitely have to be Gamebridge. And I think you're right. Maybe all of the neutral games could be played there.
I wouldn't be. I think someone brought it up earlier, but I would not be shocked if they do something at MSG. Both love coming out to New York. Both have connections out to New York as well. Obviously, terrific sports market. What better way to have the kind of lights on you than playing at MSG for Indiana and Kentucky? I mean, I think that's significant. But I definitely think you're gonna have this spaced out a few different areas. I just don't know if it's gonna be in Louisville. I can't.
I don't care. Well, you may be right now, and I hope if you are right, especially if it's Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Mecca, baby. I've been there once for the Big Ten tournament, and just walking around that place, I was my God.
That would be.
That would be a jewel.
They probably won't do this because it makes way too much sense, right? And no one does anything when it makes too much sense. But I feel like if you start the series off there, that would be tremendous, right? If you bring it back and you started off the very first game, you both go to New York, both of your fan bases are going to be there. It's going to be obviously everyone who likes basketball, anyone who likes sports and knows anything about sports is going to be watching that one, whether or not they really like college basketball or not, just because of all the talk. So I think that would be tremendous to start there, but they probably won't.